I don't even know where to start with this video, so I'm going to try and give you a quick outline of what's happening. So the first portion of this video is going to feature the new taxidermy system. Basically, you can have your dinosaurs and stuff stuffed and, you know, make them into trophies or whatever, and you keep your companion with you no matter what. If you lose it, well, at least you got the statue that can't defend you or make noise, but, you know, that's... Okay, yeah. I'll let the guy from the stream explain all of that stuff, and then we're going to move into a medium orbital supply drop. And this one gets a lot more interesting than the previous video you may have seen from me, featuring a easy mode one. And it's significantly tougher too. Guys, as always, if you do enjoy ARK and you want to see more in the future, leave a like on the video, and let's get into it. P.S. Keep your eyes open for anything I might have missed.
Essentially, just the key parts of their animation that kind of capture what they do, what they are, and we're gonna have it set up for every dino that you can kill, that you can either kill and harvest their corpse, or that you can tame. Once you have a tame dino, you can get their dermis without killing them. I can just spawn in a Rex here.
Do it. Woo! Kill it.
So I can grab his dermis once. After that, it won't let me grab it again. Testing my knowledge here of cheat commands and what I remember and what I don't. This is tough. But even the costumes that you put on them, they'll inherit that. It'll show off. So you can really just... It adds a whole new level to what you can do to make your base, your area, your area. But what you can do is you can actually do the same thing for a player, and then you can display them on your taxidermy base and show off... you know, say that's the one guy that you always tried to kill and you never could. Once you finally get him. Yeah, exactly. You can hang him out, put him right there front and center on your base.
Here we go. Zap. Huh.
And they will forevermore be displayed there.
You mind?
Yeah, you can actually take a dermis from Titans. Anything that you can kill that leaves a corpse. That includes Rockwell, most of the bosses. They have harvestable corpses.
Oh,
so now we have
it's terrifying.
a beautiful monument to Sexy, which
it's like an Attack on Titan kind of.
This is actually his standard character, so
of course it is.
It's right. We all know him in QA like for what his character is always dressed like. So anytime we had this showing off, it would be we would know obviously that that's Sexy.
Yep.
And you can put clothes on it, weapons, armor, everything. And then we're going to go even further as far as different size bases.
How about platforms?
More news on that. Platforms, maybe later on down the road.
There we go.
Maybe later on down the road. Right now it's just this, the basic one. But you can put up any dino, multiple poses. There's
multiple skins.
Quite a few fantastic poses, but it really does add a nice touch to an area whenever you can add something that you were you have or encountered, or once you get your breeding dinos and you've got your unique color sets and you can have them on display.
You can have your own like little creepy museum.
Exactly. But they working with our artist animations was a real treat, because there's just so many like just great snapshots that you can grab from that.
Awesome. That
really are just full of action, full of...
Hear that?
It looks like a taxidermy mount.
Yeah, it does.
And yeah, well, this will definitely make it a console.
Yeah, do a water one.
I could if I was in water. There's no water around here.
No water to spawn.
So the models are actually just sized to what fits on the base best. And how they fit on the base. So as long as they're fitting generally in the same area, it'll change the size. So like your longer dinos are going to be a little bit smaller. They don't always hold their scale as well.
Different poses, different skins.
So like a Giga.
People.
Oh, let's get that guy out of there.
Get it. Zap him.
Get it done, Zane.
Done.
Get it done. So like a Giga is massive. Actually, he holds the scale well.
Yeah, he does. Look at that.
So he still looks bigger than most things, but the Bigfoot is still bigger. So you do have to, if it's not your tame, you do have to kill it. It has to be something you killed. So if you want to get an enemy's tame or the dermis of an enemy's tame, then you would have to kill it. But then again, if you have an enemy that, or you're fighting against a tribe that has a very unique Rex or something like that, a breed that their line is all the same colors, and you get a hold of that, then you can show off that you defeated that tribe, and here's the proof of it. We definitely try to get as many poses as we can, but there is a limit. But this whole system is more of something as a nod of respect to our community. A huge support of our community has been PvE, a lot of RP, more or less just players that love our game and play our game. We wanted to give them something that they can really enjoy the game with, and enjoy with the game, and get to kind of memorialize their tames and what they've been through, to be able to set up their own story, to set up their own place in a way that truly just defines, this is my place. The more things they can do uniquely, the more that everything becomes their own, which is what we're shooting for, to give everyone that opportunity. Yeah, only one per dino. You can get one from your tame, and then if your tame dies, you can get another one from them. So technically, if it's tamed, you can get two. But yeah, it's one per dino. And yeah, it will be like a normal engram. It'll only be spawnable on this map, or learnable on this map, but it will be buildable on any map and usable. The dermises will be also transferable. Yeah, absolutely, jerboas will work. Jerboas are quite adorable. So the nice thing about these, the really nice thing, or my favorite thing about the bases, is that everything scales to the base. So if you have a smaller dino, say like a dodo or a jerboa, and you put it on a base that's much larger than itself, you then get a giant-sized version of that creature, which is usually much more adorable. No, it's actually pretty cheap. Okay. I mean, definitely the medium, the small one's the cheapest for sure. Yeah. The large gets a little expensive just because we don't want to make you feel like you earned it, and it also has significant health value.
Health value?
Yeah.
Could you not use that for defenses?
It's not gonna just break up.
I know it's like a weird question, right?
No.
Could you not just like good. Okay? I was gonna say, I was like, is it like super BV so I could just block orbital supply like drops with a whole bunch of taxidermies? But I assume they're attackable buildings or whatever.
Oh yeah, they can be damaged just like any other structure. So you can potentially lose them if somebody comes and attacks and really wants to take down your monument or your taxidermy.
So water tames will work. They'll actually be similar to, I think I had the Argentavis in here somewhere, but they'll actually be suspended by a pole, similar to one of the birds, one of the flyers. Let's do Tapiar.
Was taxidermy request from a while ago, or like how was it?
But I don't have.
I'm sure a lot of people
water
have asked
anywhere
for
near me
it.
to spawn in a water tame, so.
That's not cool. I was just curious, like, what spawned the idea, because I know a lot of things that we've done traditionally, it's just like at a spur of the moment, or it's just like, hey, we get this a lot.
I think it's something that I know the community has requested at some point. I know that just taxidermy in general, where did the idea come from, and it's. I'm sure a lot of people have requested it, but yeah, it's a cool feature. It's something that I know I've always wanted to have in ARK. So, it's cool to see this come to life. Have you talked about the colors and stuff, Zane? Like, so if I have a dino that's like, let's say it is a mutation.
Yeah, it will absolutely keep those colors.
Awesome.
We can actually, and just having it to where it feels like if you walked in a taxidermy shop or a bar that had some type of taxidermy thing up, we were trying to shoot for poses that you would see there, that animals in their natural habitat or animals just showing some type of aggressive pose or just being cute. We tried to get at least one of each, and if there were more options, like the dire bear is just such a great, well animated animal that there was a lot of options for him.
Oh, that
a lot
makes
of ways
sense.
it could be posed.
That makes sense.
And then you have other ones where it's just a lot of movement, or their attacks are very much just a bite and that's it. There wasn't a whole lot of range that we could go for.
Nice personal touch you can add to things. If there's a dino or something that you lost or you just lost, or you really want to create a memorial of.
Show them off, and if you're telling someone about it, you can tell them the story of how he saved you, or how he beat this thing or beat the boss. But as you can see, even corrupted dinos can handle the taxidermy. It keeps their corrupted material.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. It's really cool.
Someone even put a jellyfish up here.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh man. So are there any things that you can't taxidermy? Like, are there any exclusions that you could think of?
So the ones that we know for sure would be the overseer, and then his drones and his tanks.
Okay.
Those are the only ones that we know for sure because those all explode. As long as it doesn't explode, though, it should be taxidermy.
Awesome.
Now we move into the orbital supply drops. Now this one is set on medium difficulty. They're going to have a really hard time, and they're going to be showing off some of the other corrupted creatures we didn't see spawning in. We see a lot of different corrupted creatures, actually, that we haven't actually gotten the chance to see yet in-game, at least in good detail. By the way, this is the difficulty setting everyone failed at TwitchCon. So they're going to have a bad time. All right, have fun, I guess.
And now let's try to get a little bit of extinction in. And as you saw, horde crates do not care much about your structures. They should and will destroy just about everything that's put in their way or even in their range. We want to make these a fun fight, and giving you a way to easily farm them is not fun as far as I'm concerned. Then that's just a task, and it becomes a boring task. Because you're gonna do it the most efficient way, because why not? So now we're trying to make sure that good gameplay, good solid, healthy gameplay is encouraged. That you always have that opportunity to bring your dinos in. It'll be good reasons to bring your dinos in, and it's balanced in a way that it'll be a challenge but not impossible. There could definitely be a cost though. If you go in at the wrong times, you go in to a crate that you're not ready for, there's definitely going to be challenges to that, and there's going to be consequences to that. So you want to make sure to scout them out, learn the difficulties well before you go in. And it looks like we're starting up now. Our shield is extending, and you can see with the yellow that this is a medium difficulty. All the leftover remnants of our turrets that this thing just smashed. This wave's going to be a lot harder dinos. As always, though, we start off with a smaller wave to give your team time to get grouped up, to start getting towards the area, to get your group together and to the horde crate before it just gets destroyed. Because of course it can take upwards of 30 minutes just to get across the map. So we definitely tried to make sure that there's a built-in way for you to get there. You're still going to need to hurry, but there is a timer that's ticking down, but much slower at the beginning. So it's better to kind of leave it alone, or even just, call out the herd or try to distract them if you're waiting on your team to get there because you spotted the crate. Let me turn my sounds down just a little bit. I don't know if Steven said down. They were down pretty low. Might need to turn them down further. So now that we got that wave completed, and you can always check at the drop, it'll kind of give info on how the wave is going. And right now it looks like we cleared out all the NPCs and more are coming. And it'll tell us when the wave starts. And you can actually see the drop will change so that you don't have to go right up to it and view it every time. The drop will actually change. It has different animations for the different stages. So you never actually have to return to the drop to see what it's doing. Right here you can see the dinos coming in. Once all the dinos are spawned, you'll actually see this center part light up to full, and then as they're killed off, it'll start ticking down. So you can just look back at the drop and you see how many dinos you have left in that wave to kill. We'll see if we can help the Rex over here, who's all on his own. And most of these dinos are either going straight for that Rex, or they're trying to focus the actual shield and get it down. Just like with the crate, the dinos will go for the shield and ignore anything around them. Some of them will always do that, but most will try to fight you to make it a challenge to keep the shield protected, so you're not just like freely biting dinos that are pointed the other way and you can't just run behind them. There we go. Steven is a mastermind. Turn the sound on. That's probably a good idea, good place to start. The corrupted nodules are actually a just a substitute for organic polymer. It's quite easy to get a lot, but it doesn't drop. It's not a frequent drop. It will drop, and you'll see it quite often, but you won't see much of it. So you're gonna have to go through and killing quite a few horde dinos to get a lot of it. But it's very easy to farm up, and then on top of that, you're getting free experience for each dino you're farming it from. As you can see, our crate is now starting to take damage. Once it starts to spark like that, that's a notifier that your crate's lost at least 25% of its health, or around there. So we know that it's taking damage, but it's not low. Once it starts to get a little bit higher in the sparks, starts to get on fire a little bit, that's when it becomes a lot more obvious, and we need to start making sure we're protecting the crate. You can see these waves are not easy on us. With our Rexes, they're all low. My Thyla's at half health. The Rhino seems to be doing fine, so does the Yellow. And we'll just keep running around. I'm sure they're force feeding it. As I need to force feed this Thylaco. Oh. And now we got the flyers in the wave now, which are going to make this much more difficult. And then as you notice, I'm sure you've noticed from easy, the dinos are much lower level. So the dinos are actually leveled to the difficulty of the crate. Once we start getting into the hard and even the epic tier, like the dinos start to get extremely high level and much more difficult. More like the boss dinos. You'll notice I keep trying to shoot dinos around the crate. That's because the crates will take damage from your dinos. So if I were to try to bite the Dillo off, I'm going to end up just hurting the crate more than I would if I just shoot it. I know a lot of people are not fans of the assault rifles, but they're definitely very valuable for this mode. But there's multiple drops that can fall at that location, so it's not always going to be the same difficulty every time. But there's generally areas where it's easier dinos, so that'll be easier crates. And then you have the areas that are much more dangerous, and you'll have all kinds of very, very high level, hard to kill corrupted dinos in those areas. And those will be areas where you have crates that are the hard crates and the epic crates. Yep. They're very much based on what's already in the area and the difficulty of the area.
Oh, how are they doing?
Oh
my gosh!
Okay.
Wait.
We're close. We're losing dinos. This is going to be a tough one.
What difficulty is this?
Medium.
We're all losing dinos.
Correct. So medium's the one that people lost to at TwitchCon. No one could beat medium, and I don't know how Paris did.
Yeah. Medium was not even an option.
Yeah, people were using tech guns for that.
Oh my gosh! Look at this. It is. This is what you want to try to prevent.
Yep.
Them crowding the crate, getting too close to the crate, or crowding you. Becomes really hard, but you have these flyers flying around. The Terras make it definitely more challenging because you want to kind of prioritize on them just because they can get easy access to the crate, but
this is awful. This is getting chased.
Yeah. The other method we saw was people using rocket launchers, but do know that your damage does damage the crate. Mm-hmm. So if you use something like a rocket launcher on the crate, yeah, you're doing a lot of damage to a lot of the dinos near it, but you might inadvertently be making the situation worse. So just keep that in mind.
Sometimes you have no choice, though.
Yeah, exactly. You might have no choice, because like we used to do it when there were like 20 wyverns on this thing, and you just have to shoot them.
Man, this is rough.
This is.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna lose that crate.
I don't think we're gonna make it.
You're going to lose it, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we definitely. We had a small crew, and we went in with like the minimum dinos. We thought we could do it.
You guys got too brave on this content.
What wave is this?
This is 4.
Okay.
Or no, this is probably 3.
Cool, huh?
So close, but okay.
Oh jeez.
Okay.
Oh jeez. Do I still have God mode on? Yeah, I do. I should be. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm dead.
Oh man, it's gonna happen quick.
Ooh.
That backpedal damage, though.
And again, these are supposed to be, they're meant to be giant world events, right? Like, there is no lock to this.
No.
Expect, like, if you are in a server that one of these triggers nearby, like, you should expect that a bunch of players.
And unlike the normal crates where you have a certain level where you need to be before you open it, you don't have to be a certain level technically to open these. So, granted, it's going to be really hard to get one of these if you're just starting out, especially like a medium or a hard level crate. But there is no barrier to entry. If somehow you're with the crew, maybe you have a larger crew and you're a lower level inside of that larger crew and you participate, then you have a chance to get items at the end as well. So there is no barrier for entry on these crates. It's a matter of if you can beat the waves of dinos that are coming in to try to destroy it.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I think my armor is a little strong. Because I should not be alive.
Yeah, it might be. Might be using dev hacks.
No. I just used too strong armor. It's totally different. I got it from a friend.
Oh yeah. That's
he
it.
shared it with me.
That's it. And as you can see, the crate is taking quite a bit of damage. It's on fire now.
Oh, it's so close to dying.
There's different visual indicators for each crate, or for each stage of the crate being damaged. And as you can see, it's pretty damaged right now. Oh, and they lost it.
Yikes.
So close.
And there it goes. Man. Oh.
I want to blame Ryan.
Oh, never mind.
I think he blew himself up.
Luckily, Valor is here to take the fall. It was totally Valor.